Yo, 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 and the king is here. What it do? What it do, ladies and gentlemen? What it do? It's your king. It's the one and only Strictly. So let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? Because I've been told, I've been told that the way I'm doing this is wrong. So it is what it is. Let's talk about unification, right? When you think of unification, you think rebellion, you think every negative every negative thing that you could think of about unification to those that don't research. Unification is not about rebellion. It's about making a change. It's about making a change. It's about coming together and spark a change. When you think of unification, you think of the Black Panther Party of self-defense. For those that don't know the original name of the Black Panther Party, you got the Nation of Islam, you got the civil rights, um you got athletes going against racism. Prime example: Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. How they all came together and unified and sparked a revolution against racism that was happening within the sports industry. That's still happening to this day. You know, when you have celebrities, right? When you have celebrities like a Tupac, um, not only Tupac, but you got the secret meeting that Irv, rest in peace, free Suge. Shout out to Jay Prince. Was Dame Dash there? I don't know. I gotta do more research on that to see if Dame was in there. But you got that. Um Hell, No Limit. You know what I'm saying? No Limit, Cash Money. You got just to name a few. Just to name a few. And when you have celebrities, and shout out to Cino for this, when you have celebrities like Puffy, and did my research, shout out to Cino, but when you got Puffy speaking that language of unification, it's going to cause a disturbance within the system. It's going to cause an uproar within the system. It's going to cause a rebellious stage, and they don't want to hear that. And for those that want to know who Day is, you know who Day is. We all grown. We all have phones. We all watch the news. We all have different type of media that we have as sources. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, both the Kennedy brothers was going to unify to dethrone the system. You have Martin Luther King. He did the "I Have a Dream" speech. Him and Malcolm X had a conversation, and they was trying to cause a division between King and our brother King and our brother X. But they came together and unified. Where Malcolm X taught to basically taught. I'm not gonna say taught, but basically opened the eyes of Martin Luther King to see what's really going on. Because I have a dream speech that was imaginary, and you wonder why they have that on his holiday, on his birthday. I have a dream speech. You see why they played it, right? You see why they picked it, but they didn't want to pick the mountaintop. You see how they tried to delete the footage of when he was talking about when he was speaking against the Vietnam War and about reparations, how we should get our check because of we have done the work. It's you could say it's capitalism. What happened? We all know what happened. Malcolm X. We all know what happened with him. Bob the Kennedys. Most John F. Kennedy stated that he couldn't believe this is the America that he woke up to. Yes, because, ladies and gentlemen, unification is something that it's a threat to the society and the system. Bobby was running for president. He went to, they want to say the inner city. They want to label it as the hood. No, our neighborhood. And wanted to make us equal, and was going to help us out. What happened to him? You know what happened. So unification is a threat to society. You talk about unification, you are going against basically is this slaves. One person, one person decides, you know what, enough's enough, and start getting a whole bunch of us. The slave master don't like it because the slave master is fearful that the slaves are going to spark a revolution and is going to make them go to sleep. So that's why that's why unification, that's why you have things in our community that's trying to cause a division within us. Drugs, liquor. Ask yourself why they got a liquor store in our community. Ask yourself why there are drugs in our community that you know daggone well we don't partake in. Ask yourself why. Why? It's called division. Abraham Lincoln said it best. A house that has divided cannot stand. That's why you have the oh, my skin is lighter than yours. Oh, you dark skin, light skin. Oh, oh nah, that's my chick. Nah, that's my chick. Nah, oh hell nah. Uh, who he think he is? Oh, who she think she is? Oh, nah, this my shit. Nah, no. It's causing division because they using media, because we are in the social media era. They using media, even reality shows, to cause a division. I think I mentioned that in my early videos, to cause a division. They don't want to see us together. We come together, it's a wrap for them. Look at the 92 riots, right? With Rodney King. And that's the and people want to say, and people acting brand new, acting like, oh, we should record, what these cops doing. It started with 92. Just want to educate you on your history. When they record, they beat them crackers beating the shit out of our brother. It was filmed. So for y'all to act like this is brand new to record, no, it's not. You got to go back to history. Research is key. So going back to the 92 riots, how our brothers from the Bloods and Crips came together and unified. They didn't want that. They didn't want that unification because both of them unified as one, that's a threat to society. And they don't like that. Now imagine our brothers from Bloods, Crips, Essays, um, GDs, any gang that we have that's not racist, any gangs that we have, imagine all of us, the brothers, all of them unifying. The system don't like that. They don't like that. That's why they do silly things in our community cause a division. Our neighborhoods wasn't called a hood. If you do your history, it wasn't called a hood until they started going into poverty. But then they push it to us because we wasn't like this. We wasn't like we were not in the position that we are now. We had our money. We had our property. We had families. No matter if you blood or not blood. Look at the 80s. Shout out to my peoples in California, Los Angeles. They can't even tell you, even in the 80s, it wasn't no who against who. It was more family orientated. Everybody was family. Everybody doesn't matter. If you in California, you in LA, correct me if I'm wrong. everybody was everybody was family in the 80s until they start dropping crack. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Until they start dropping crack and other diseases and other drugs in our communities, it caused a division amongst us as each other. The cause of division. Us. Who against who? Them against them. They against it caused a division. Drugs, liquor stores. It caused a division amongst us. Because prior to that, we wasn't like that. It was unification. Yeah, we had knuckleheads, but it was amongst ourselves. It was unification. Us, Mexicans, brothers and sisters, whether people want to admit it or not, we are brothers and sisters. We, us, them, unified, all love. And shout out to my Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, any Spanish descent. Shout out to y'all. Because at the end of the day, whether it's bigotry or not, we're all family. We all family. I love y'all. The system ain't slick. When you drop drugs in our community and cause a division, you're causing a division to have an excuse to go after us. Not saying all cops do that. No, because you have good cops and bad cops. The good cops, I'm excluding them. The ones, and you know who the ones is. You could feel it. You got the bad ones. It's an excuse to come get us, to be us, to come get us and put us in the system. They use that as an excuse. That's why when you see each other fighting, nah, this my shit. Where my brothers and my sisters worldwide. They do that, the system do that to cause a division, to give them an excuse to come get us. Because prior to them doing that, we, because we all black, No matter we have an accent or not, we all black. 12 tribes of Judah. Again, we still family orientated. No matter what the bigotry or whatnot, we still family orientated. But the system dropped bullshit in our communities for us to hate each other, us to cause a division. They are scared of the unification. They are. They're scared of unification because they know once we unify, once we go against, they're losing power. It's all about power and mind games. Read the 48 laws of power. Uh, They say it's rebellion. It's not a rebellion. It's we're tired of being tired. You want to mistreat us? All right. F you. And what? Because without us, y'all wouldn't be shit. And history speaks for itself. That's why when you look at and people think they slick. It's like the Bible, right? It's like the Bible. And now I'm going there. Have you looked at the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and how each book have are talking about the exact same thing, but different translation, different perspectives. And not only that, when you expose who y'all is really is, and you put it in the Bible, basically our history, you're not smart. That's why they're doing everything they can. They want to cause an uproar. They want to cause um chaos, and then want to be on the news and act like innocence. No, 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 no. We living in society. We live in a society where technology is advanced. So you could do that. You could try and get rid of history. But at the end of the day, we got phones. We can look it up if we choose to. That's why I keep saying life is a two-edged sword. Our part and the other part. That's why when you look at the media, I don't know if you noticed that. When you look at social media, when you look at different types of media, right? Or even listen to the radio or whatnot, have you noticed being one-sided? Hint, hint, Puffy. That trial, one-sided. You can't make everything one-sided and act like you innocent. No. Again, life is a two-edged sword. It's your fault and the other person's fault. And see, that's what's going on when they discuss about us, trashing us, degrading us. Why it ends. Why it ends. And I probably said in my previous videos, why it ends. That if that's not degrading, I don't know what to tell you. We say jits in Florida. We say jits. We go anywhere. Jit. Youngin. Ain't no damn young YNs. Yeah, they young niggas to us, but we ain't gonna call them YNs. The hell? No. What y'all doing is y'all trying to cause a division to the point where their generation is saying F our generation. No. You cause it a division. You are exploiting. You're doing that. You're doing that and you're wrong. You know you're wrong, but hey, people are blind to see. Yay. Shout out to people that are blind to see. Yes. Shout out to everybody that don't do their research. Yes. Because you are being fooled. And how long you gonna How long are you going to stay being a fool? How long? Because each and every day we learn something new. We don't learn everything all at once. Every day is a learning experience. Now, going back to unification, that's why they're scared. They used to be, they used to you being their slave. But when you go against the BS, when you go against the mistreatment, it's like the job. It's like why you ask yourself this again? Why you think there's so many job strikes? People don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But we do know people do have people that really bust their ass. It's the difference between people really busting their ass and half assing it. You can't half ass and not go full ass. For those that go full ass, they get mistreated. Believe me, I know. I completely know. And you wonder why people do strikes. It's the way you mistreat. It's causing a division. You so damn greedy that you can't feed the ones that actually put in that work. You so damn greedy, and that's pride. Pride comes before destruction. A house divided cannot stand. Unification is a dangerous cuss word because of the fact that you have your own mind. God created us be different, not the same. That's why unification is dangerous to them. That's why the effect in unification could change a whole lot of things overnight. The people wake wake up. People need to wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake the hell up. Because this is not a game. And every time you speak the language of unification, they will try to do anything to make you look bad or elsewise. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They don't. They will think that you crazy. Look at why you think all these celebrities, most of them be on that stuff. And people be like, he's going nobody knows what they go through behind closed doors. The pressure. And they know different from us. So I'm not causing where they're different. Nope, they're not different from us. They're not. Excuse me. They're not. So when who was it? When Donald Sterling, when that situation with the Clippers, the NBA knew he was racist. They knew. The reason why they had sympathies is this. Because around 2011, that was the time where I'm not gonna say viral, but everything was starting to go to the internet, and it was starting to get more views. You had LeBron, Chris Paul, was it who Westbrook, who else? It was somebody else. It was a couple superstars, and when they did a protest, right? And it was during the lockout year. Yes, it was during the lockout year. I remember that during the lockout year because I think that was a time that the league screwed the Lakers and had Chris Paul going to the club. Yeah, I remember now. Now, imagine the NBA would have still be stiff necked and allow Donald Sterling to still be owner, losing money. They're already losing money because they what they do behind closed doors, but losing money. You see where the NFL's at. And if the NFL keep playing, we don't mind leaving the ones that don't want to be slaves. We don't mind leaving. And yes, the fingers like that football injury. If you think I'm lying, look. Okay. Cause a lot of y'all be thinking that somebody be lying. But unification is the truth. It's the truth. That's why even with even with us that believe in God, around the world there's unification. People don't see it because they're blind-eyed. Low key, there is unification around the world about Yah waking the people up. You know what? They don't want they don't want a revolution. They don't want a revolution because that revolution is going to change the aspect of the world. And that's what they're doing. It's not about Christianity. It's not about all these other religions. It's about coming together because at the end of the day, it talks about one person as God. Different perspectives of people. But what they want is a disruption. They want religion against religion. Oh, your religion is better than mine. Oh, nah. It's division as well. Because at the end of the day, we all have different perspectives. But we talking about one person. That's Yah. But I will say this: they can't stop what God has in plan. They can't stop what God has in plan. I'm gonna say this again. They can't stop what God has in plan. They can't stop that. They can't stop that because at the end of the day, God is the truth, the way, and the light. No matter how man can have all the money in the world and thinking that he is, they're not him. They can't perform miracles. They can perform. They can't perform miracles. God said he's a man that he should not lie. They lie. Oh, they lie. Catch them on politics. These political parties, right? Why you think they don't want independence? Why you think they don't promote independence? Independent voters, independent candidates. It's easy because it's going against what they got going on. It is. People don't want to talk about it. That's cool. That's cool. The truth is going the truth is going to come out regardless. That's it's flabbergasting to me. But at the end of the day, it's a choice if you want to wake up, if you want to unify and say is enough is enough. It's a choice. It's a choice if you want to be a slave or not. It's a choice if you want to be stagnant or evolve. It's a choice if you want to be stagnant or grow. So, long story short, unification is a threat to society. Unification brings change, brings the enough is enough attitude against the system. And they are afraid of that. That's why they will do anything they can to either make you crazy set you up or do anything. So this is your boy Strictly, and I'm out. And I got I ain't gonna say it. Y'all be safe out there. One life, one love, and one king.